Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday. Shout out to Norbit. If you know, you know. I'm going to sit up here and get back to roasting Generation Z. Shout out to Trey. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate you. Listen, I gotta make sure I make good all my promises. And I said that I was going to get back to it. I got time this morning. Maybe they'll come through upset now or later. It doesn't matter to me, because today we're going to take another look at that. What was his name? Amir Odom, I think his name is. And then who is it? Something else. I just found something from USA Today. I think it's USA Today. An actual article, because these people, they be in the comments, child. And they be like, you don't know. I just saw somebody saying, this is the economy that you left us. And I'm like, who left it to you, child? These people just be, I don't know. Y'all better go blame the president. We ain't got nothing to do with that. You better go find your local politician and go whine and complain to them. Because everybody out here, what do they say on Good Times? Stretching, scratching, and surviving or whatever. But they like to be put upon and say that it's just them. And you did this to us, child. Let me see. We done ruined your childhood. We done ruined your adulthood. We done ruined your work life. We done ruined your mother or fatherhood life. Child, what the hell did y'all do? What in the whole hell did y'all do? Well, we'll see. Okay. And it's not just me. So that's why I'm like, all right, well, let's take a look at what else that we can show y'all so that you can shut the hell up and stop whining and complaining. Now, there we go. Shout out to Trey. Hold on a second. Let me go on over here and take care of this right now. One second. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate you. Y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. Early in the morning. I'll be back later on the live channel. I don't know what we're talking about, because really there's nothing new. We'll see. Maybe we'll do Crime is Down, but be on the lookout for that. That'll be around 6 p.m. EST, FYI. All right. Let me go ahead and share this daggone screen and see what USA Today has to say. But I know it still be people that'll be like, you did this. Yeah. Keep blaming me, child. Just keep blaming me. It's all my fault. So yes, it is USA Today. Look, child, they here. No, we don't live here. Thank you, Trey. We don't live here. We don't count, child. What are you talking about? We're no one. We're nobody. You know what I'm saying? But, get off Gen Z's D. As soon as they get off my tit, I'll get off their D. How about that? Until then, y'all gonna get this work. So USA Today said, why Gen Z is getting fired? Oh, no. Y'all getting fired? Woo, now I've heard this already before. I guess we can't trust, someone will say, it's USA Today. I guess we can't trust USA Today. Don't worry about it. I'll find more. Trust me when I tell you, this is my lot in life to prove how bitch ass y'all are. So we'll hear from the excerpt.
Recent headline is raising questions about the youngest workers in the labor force, Gen Z. Some employers say they're hiring Gen Z employees only to let them go within months, citing gaps in communication, professionalism, and workplace readiness. But this kind of criticism isn't exactly new. Previous generations faced similar labels when they first entered the workforce, even as the nature of work itself was shifting. So what's really going on here? Is this a Gen Z problem or a workplace problem? Hello and welcome to USA Today's The Excerpt.
Is it Gen Z or is it a workplace problem? Okay. Sounds like they might be trying to pass the buck as per usual.
I'm Dana Taylor, here to dig into Gen Z and how they can be successful in the labor force in the age of AI. Is Susie Welch, professor at NYU's.
Look, y'all, they already started. Trusting any major news outlet these days is pretty wild. I tell you. Now you can't trust stats. Remember, for the regulars on live, you can't trust stats. Now you can't trust regular news outlets, which I don't disagree. What I say is that you need to vet. You need to suss it out, right? This shit is not new. I don't know what you all are seeing, but I know damn well There's plenty of people, not only, let's take TikTok out of it with y'all actual word vomit coming out of your mouths. Plenty of people have already done the studies. Plenty of people have already done the articles and the videos, but that's okay. This is just today. Don't worry. This will be a regular thing. Stick around. Let's see what these people got to say.
Stern School of Business. So good to speak with you, Susie.
Thanks for having me.
The unemployment rate for recent college grads, per the latest data released by the Federal Reserve of New York, at the end of 2025 is 5.7%. That's roughly a point and a half higher than it is for other age cohorts. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's a confluence of events. I was with a student who came to my office the other day. She's got a degree in computer science. She's very good at math, and she cannot find a job. And she was in such a state of despair. I just want to put a human face to these numbers. And she was a very talented young woman. And I said to her, I think you're going to have to open your aperture about the jobs that you're looking at. And she was looking for what it can.
Oh, you mean you might have to take a step back in order to move forward? Generation X, if you were here this morning or if you were on replay, have you ever heard, were you ever told you might have to take a step back in order to move forward in the future? Is it better to sit and have zero, or does it make sense to have something and then move forward to something more thereafter, especially once you get experience? Because the days of just because you went to college doesn't mean that you automatically get a job. I'm just saying. I know y'all don't want to hear it. I'm just saying.
Conveyor belt would typically dump her at. There's a conveyor belt when you've got a certain degree, and the conveyor belts went to certain jobs, and there's softness in those jobs as employers are reluctant to hire, thinking that AI might be able to do these entry-level jobs, and so they're moving more slowly. And then they have been a bit burned by their AI, by their Gen Z hires, as we know. And so I think that there's structural reasons, and there's very modern reasons about what's going on.
I want to turn now to Gen Z's ability to keep jobs once they've been hired. A recent survey by Intelligent.com that made headlines says that 6 in 10 employers say they're letting Gen Z hires go within months. What does that stat actually?
Ooh, wow. You can't even blame the economy. Y'all just suck from the beginning.
Ability to keep jobs once they've been hired. A recent survey by Intelligent.com that made headlines says that 6 in 10 employers say they're letting Gen Z hires go within months. What does that stat actually tell us, and what's missing from it?
I think that stat tells us the truth, what's going on. And I have an interesting perspective on it, perhaps, which is that I have interesting research that might shed some light on it. I teach 2 classes at NYU. One is management, the classic management class that you would have at any business school. And then I also teach a class called Becoming You, which is a class that helps students figure out what they should do with their life, which is my timing on teaching that class.
Wow. Imagine needing to have a class to tell you what to do. How to figure, let's rewind that. How to figure out your life. Child, where are your parents? Where are your mamas? Child, y'all sucks to be y'all.
Perspective on it, perhaps, which is that I have interesting research that might shed some light on it. I teach 2 classes at NYU. One is management, the classic management class that you would have at any business school. And then I also teach a class called Becoming You, which is a class that helps students figure out what they should do with their life, which my timing on teaching that class was.
A class on what to do with your life. We actually did have classes to tell us what to do with our lives, y'all. I'm not even going to hold you. It was economics when we were in high school. It was various classes, home ec. Y'all, I know y'all remember Generation X. It was that's how I learned to do typing. I didn't have to go to college for that. This is how I knew how to sew. Didn't have to go to college for that. Taught me a lot of different things. I can't think off the top of my head, but it was a lot of things that taught me how to cook, actually. Basic meals and things of that nature. Child, y'all need to go to your local politicians and make sure this don't happen to your daggone kids, if you have kids. I'm just saying, because that's important stuff. But your politicians, I'll say it again, took that mess out. They took that mess out so y'all don't get it, because they want y'all to have ABCDs in your school, because that's more important than teaching you life skills, child.
Quite prescient coming out of the pandemic. For this class, the premise is that your purpose in life lies at the intersection of your values, your aptitudes, and your interests. So with that as a set, I'll say that I end up creating a tool called the Values Bridge, which discerns and rank orders individuals' values from 1 to 16. It's a fully scientifically validated test. And in the past year, about 200,000 people have taken it. And so we are able to cut this very large data set by generation. And I cut the data to find out what Gen Z's values were. And once I had that list, I did a second survey interviewing hiring managers, 25,000 hiring managers over the ages of 40 who manage more than 5 people. And we asked them, what are the values that you're looking for in the Gen Z people that you're hiring? And I
values, but we know that these people also don't know how to use a dictionary. Just a clue, child. Just a clue to the Gen Z. Use the dictionary. You can get it on the internet. It's called dictionary.com, and you start looking up words. Because I think that's part of your problem too, is that you don't know what things mean. You don't. I know you don't want to listen to this woman, and you don't want to listen to the other woman, and you don't want to listen to intelligent.com, and you don't want to listen to USA Today. Yeah, I just want to complain. Keep doing it though. We love it. It's more content. Content for days, chat.
got that list. And then I cross-referenced that data. And what it showed is that only 2% of Gen Z has the values that hiring managers want.
Wow. So only 2% of y'all have what the job looks for, because this is how it works. Let me give y'all a clue. My old ass gonna give you a clue. Okay. You need to do what the hell the job says. You need to do what the hell the employer says. Not what you want to do. Not about how you feel. Not about where you think things should go. It's about you want to get paid. You want that money. You got to do what they say. I mean, one would think that you would know this. Your mamas would have told y'all, but I guess they were failures. So I can understand why you might be mad. But keep that shit towards your mama, all right? You got to do what they say. You want people to do what you want, but it doesn't work that way because you have nothing to offer. That's the difference. They have something to offer, money, so you can live. Y'all don't want to follow those rules. You just want someone to give you something. Child, go move to New York. Ma'am Danby, just stop the rent from going up for, I believe, the next 2 years, something along that line. We might have to talk about that later, y'all. So if you go there, and you should be good for not paying let me rephrase. You should be good for no rent increases for about 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, from what I heard briefly. There you go. You can have him take care of you, because that's what it really sounds like most of the time, is that you want someone else to take care of you. So like most teenagers, like most young people, they're rushing to get out into the world in order to be able to do whatever they want to do. And now you all have that opportunity. And now you see, tough. It's tough out there. Everybody want to do it on their own. Everybody think they so cute and they think they know it all. FOMO and YOLO and all the other acronyms. And then you get out there and you see it's not what you thought it was, because you don't just go out there and then get stuff immediately. You have to work for it. Good morning, Kofa. I am continuing my roast of Generation Z. I promised them that I would roast them again, and that's what we're doing. And of course, I'm going to continue this because I just love it, because they're in the chat upset about it. And that makes me happy as they sit here and blame Generation X, taking no accountability and thinking that calling me names is going to change their pathetic ass lives.
And are looking for. So what ends up happening, in my estimation, this is a staggering number, 2%, staggering. And I think when people say, oh, this has happened in
staggering, look it up, staggering.
Previous generations, the young folks come along and the old folks say, that's not the way I was. Yeah, that's true, but not at this magnitude. That 98% do not have the values that hiring managers are looking for. Only 2% do. That's crazy magnitude. And so what's happening is they're getting them in. They're seeing if they can change them. When they don't change them, they say, I've had enough of this, and out they go. And
I can relate. I done had enough of y'all. Get out. That's basically what she said. Y'all get in there, you might get the job. You don't want to change. You want to do what you want to do. You can't stand for 5 seconds. You can't follow direction. You can't stay off the phone. All you want to do is do TikToks. All you want to do is take pictures and put it up on TikTok. And they say, you know what? We paid you to do a job, not to be on TikTok. Y'all doing TikToks in your uniforms. Then you get fired and you're saying, what happened? What happened? Yeah, you can't do what you want to do. If you want to do what you want to do, then go create your own business. But if you got to work for someone else, then I'm thinking that y'all should follow directions.
I think that's what we're seeing. So just to be more specific, Gen Z's top 3 values. Number 1 is what we call in the survey eudaimonia. That's self-care. That's the Greek word.
Oh, y'all care about self-care. That's the most important thing. I wonder how that self-care is going to work when your ass is out on the street.
For flourishing. When I use the word self-care, usually people's heads explode. So I just use this more neutral name, eudaimonia, but it does mean self-care, personal flourishing, recreation, and leisure.
Hold on. Let's hear that again, child. It sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
Survey eudaimonia, that's self-care. That's the Greek word for flourishing. When I use the word self-care, usually people's heads explode. So I just use this more
self-care is the priority.
More neutral name, eudaimonia, but it does mean self-care, personal flourishing, recreation.
Personal flourishing.
And leisure.
Recreation and leisure. That about makes sense.
Their second value is voice, which is authentic self-expression. They want to be themselves at all
I want to
time.
be myself. I want to be expressing myself. I want to be authentically myself. Who in the hell put that in a job description? Anybody seen that, Bueller? Anybody synced, and I said synced, where they say we want self-expression as part of the job description? Okay, just wondering. If you see it, send it to me. I might have to apply because I can definitely express myself.
And they want to be very authentic in the workplace. And their number 3 value is helping others, which is a beautiful and noble value.
Oh, you want to help everyone else? You might want to help yourself. You know, when the plane is going down, you got to take care of you before you can take care of anyone else. Oh, you want to help everyone else? You really don't. You really don't want to help anyone except for people that are like you. That's really what it is, especially as evidenced by your comments here. Yes, the other day and today.
For hiring managers, the number 1 value that they're looking for is achievement, the desire to win. The number 2 value that they're looking for is work centrism, the desire to work. And the number 3 value that they're looking for is scope, which is the desire for learning and activity and adventure.
I'm gonna help y'all out. Let me let her go back over it again. Is what you should be focusing on. Not your self-care. You can do your self-care after work. You do know that, right? You know you can do your self-care when you go home. You can do your self-care when you take a bath or something. You can do that when you go on vacation. How the hell are you going to get on vacation if you don't have no money because you're not working? Okay, my bad. Come on, girl. What is it again?
Which is a beautiful and noble value. For hiring managers, the number 1 value that they're looking for is achievement, the desire to win.
The desire to win. Shout out to Generation X. Gen Z. You got to want to do something besides what you want to do. You got to be wanting to achieve something, okay? And not the best picture for TikTok.
The number 2 value that they're looking for is work centrism, the desire to work.
The desire to work. Now, if you don't want to work, you don't have to work, but don't complain about your results. You need to be able to put forth something in order to get something back. This is typically something that, you hear people say to women, but child, there's a lot of you LTMs, and that's your problem too. You need to go find your dads. Child, y'all need to go find your dads. Gentlemen, Generation Z gentlemen, males, go get some bass in your voice, okay? Just go and find your fathers. Go find a male with some bass in their voice so he can help you out, so you can get a backbone, right? So that you can be like, yeah, let me go work, instead of sounding like a biatch talking about, I gotta take care of myself. This is what happens when you bring ABCDs into the school, and then you take the Lord out of the school, and you just take all, then they give you participation trophies and no child left behind. And that part is not y'all's fault. That's not y'all's fault that they ended up doing that, okay? It's definitely the government and plenty of adults who allow that shit to pass. But too many people were so worried about y'all's feelings, and now they don't seem to understand that that's all y'all care about are your feelings. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of grace from that perspective, right? Because as soon as they started with that participation trophy and no child left behind, it's like, now wait a damn minute. And they set y'all up to be a bunch of pansies, and that's where you are. So then you say, no one told us. Or I was told if I do this, everything will get right. Okay, some of that was wrong. So here you go. We try and tell y'all, and y'all don't want to listen because you swear you know. Okay, cool. Don't pocket watch. That's none of your business. All right. You pocket watching ain't changing shit. You got to figure out how to line your own pockets legally, not the way clearly that your parents have shown and told you. So you need to go back to them individually. And then maybe you want to listen to what this lady is saying. I know you don't want to listen to me. I'm just bringing you the information. I know you don't want to listen to me. You loud, you a woman, your Generation X. That's okay. I'm not offended, okay? At least listen to the people that are speaking out here, even though I'm basically saying the same thing.
And the number 3 value that they're looking for is scope, which is the desire for learning and activity and adventure, which would generally I would translate in the workplace as travel. So
travel. I'm thinking for what they want is for you to be able to do more. Don't just do the minimum, do more. Especially if you want more money, you got to do more.
Gigantic mismatch in values. And that's what we're seeing play out. And because the market is favoring the buyer, the employer right now, not the seller, the employee, the buyer is saying, I'm not liking this. I'm returning it to the store and I'm going to go look for a model that I like better.
So when we look at employers, what they're saying Gen Z workers aren't meeting expectations.
Thanks for keeping me on my square, Ebony. Yes, and I curse and I say the N-word, child. Don't forget that either.
What are they specifically pointing to? What's the gap that Gen Z needs to, or maybe this is on employers as well, but what's the gap, the common gap that you're hearing about?
The gap is, just look at the numbers again. The gap is that employers want workers to care about winning and working. And Gen Z employees care about self-care and individuality. So that's the gap.
So that's why they got stuff like where I work, they have free water. Child, what is this? Just give me money. I don't care about this shit. See, this is the difference between the generations. They got free tea, free coffee. You just got to bring your own cup, because they used to give out cups, but now they worry about the environment. A little late, but that's fine. They worry about the environment. They got game rooms. They have TVs all over the place. And I'm like, child, am I at a resort or am I at work? Fine. So I sit there and I watch the news all day, and I watch the stock market, which is good. That's a good thing to watch. No, they're not turning on General Hospital. However, it's very different, because I've never gone to work, and in the actual workplace, not like in a cafeteria or anything, there's a TV playing. So I can sit at my desk and work and then look up and watch TV at the same time. That's some Generation Z shit, child. That is new. That's new stuff. I'm just saying. Then you can go play, I think it's ping pong and maybe dodgeball, child. I don't go in there because I don't care. But that sounds like stuff that the Gen Z would like to have. So if you take the time to at least do some hard work, depending on where you're going, they got all that self-care stuff for you. They got the gender, what is it called? Male bathroom, female bathroom, and then whatever the hell your gender is bathroom. That's the kind of stuff that y'all like and that you work hard for and that you care about, right? So, those are the things, if you get in there for a while, they are listening to you. Thank you. Gender neutral. Yes. A gender neutral bathroom. And they're kind of hearing ya, because that's the type of stuff that you all care about. So there you go. But you still have to work. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You still have to work.
And it shows up every day in kind of minor ways. It's like the bosses are at the office early and they stay late and they care if they win or lose a client. And they are worried about competition and how money is spent. And Gen Z's basically saying, I don't like those rules. Those were your values, and they didn't work out so well for your generation. I'm not going to buy them. My parents had those values, and they got unemployed at age 54. One thing I will say is that my area of research involves values expression, which is how these values play out in the real world. And I am not a specialist at all in values formation. So I can only report these statistics. I can't tell you how Gen Z came to their values, but I teach Gen Z day in and day out. And so I ask them, hey, why is it that achievement, the achievement is the value, and work centers is another value that employers want. For Gen Z, achievement is number 12 as a value. And work.
Imagine that. Self-care comes before achievement. Sounds like they're going to make great parents.
Centrism is number 13. All right, so they do not value these things that the oldsters like myself and most hiring managers want. And look, I want to say I love Gen.
Then they should go work for someone that's Generation Z. Problem solved. Why are y'all not doing that, Z's? If the jobs are not doing what you need them to do, go find Generation Zers and go work for them. Why y'all not doing that?
And see, I teach them. I know them personally. There's wonderful things about them. I'm not part of the hate Gen Z, dynamic out there. But there definitely is a gap between the ways they want to act at work and the ways their managers want them to act.
Gen Z is the first generation to enter the workforce after the pandemic, which was, of course, a major disruption in their education.
Oh, wow.
As well as to how we work. How much has that shaped things like communication, confidence, or expectations?
I don't know how much the pandemic had to do with it, to tell you the truth. I really don't. I mean, the pandemic was a gigantic disruption, but so was the bombing of London during World War II, and people got back to it. So
yeah, exactly. Thank you, ma'am. Let's not use that as an excuse.
You think that
they got enough excuses already?
My area of specialty is not values formation, but I do think that one thing that happened during the pandemic was people got this in the zeitgeist. Like, why would I postpone joy? Why would I postpone self-care? The world could just blow up at any moment. And they also got accustomed to living their lives in front of their computer and not being in the workplace. And so then when work then said, well, hey, we'd like you to postpone joy and pleasure and leisure, and we'd like you to come into the office, they were like, but I like the other way. And I don't want to conform to these old rules.
We're hearing
I can understand that. I can understand that. But guess what? Do you want money or not? Maybe you might want to make a plan in order to get out of it, but instead you just complain. I'm just saying, I get it. It was easier to work from home. And it was also what they wanted us to do. Now there's something else that they want us to do. So now we got to go back, go work for someone else. There's some places, I just was looking at a job because I'm trying to see about a new employer. And they were like, oh, we're hybrid. And it was like 4 days in, 1 day off. That is not hybrid to me. So there's no point in me applying for that job. Y'all know it's got to be 3 and 2 at minimum. It's got to be a 3 and 2 at minimum, preferably a 5. But the search and the hunt is on. But it can't just be the way that it was in the pandemic, which I've said before. I'm telling y'all, I've said it before. Y'all already know these people want to live that same way as what happened in the pandemic. And that issue's over. Move on. It's done.
a lot about what Gen Z needs to do to improve. What are employers getting wrong right now when it comes to hiring and supporting young workers?
Let me just back up for 1 quick second to your question, which is, I want to say, I don't recommend anybody try to change their values. So I don't think that Gen Z is quote unquote getting it wrong. I would never tell somebody, go change your values, go get the value of achievement. Your values are your values. And so
I agree. Your values are your values. She's absolutely right.
I think that what they need to do is adjust their expectations about where they're going
Adjust? What? Adjustment? Look it up in the dictionary, Z's.
to work. So if they keep their values, which they should, that those are their values. Nobody should change their values. They have to understand there's consequences, and they're not going to have the kinds of jobs.
Consequences. Look it up, Generation Z.
And perhaps their college degrees prepare them for. Now, as for what employers should do,
So you go to college to get those degrees and it didn't help you, that now you got to take another course on how to act and how to get through work?
it depends if employers want to employ the 2% or the 98%. So the very good firms want to employ the 2%. And as CEOs, I heard from a lot of CEOs after my article ran in the Wall Street Journal about this data, and they all said, well, it's a cage match, isn't it, for the 2%? And so companies are going to fight to the tooth and nail to get that 2%. And the other companies, I don't know if they're going to conform. It's very hard to compete when you've got employees who don't care about competition. And it's very hard to get work done when you have employees who don't want to work. And so maybe they'll conform.
I can't imagine why AI is making a surge, I shall call it. Can't imagine why.
But I think as long as it's a buyer's market, which it is, with unemployment numbers the way they are, I don't know.
So you mentioned AI, and I want to dig into that a little more deeply and look at how it's playing into this equation. There's a lot of reporting that for Gen Z, including recent graduates, entry-level jobs have been replaced by AI. And so there's a fundamental...
Oh, well, look at that. Shout out to me. She's starting to talk about AI, just like I said. Go on, girl.
lack of opportunity to learn the soft skills that a white-collar employee needs. Do you think that's true?
Well, AI is definitely afoot in terms of like being able to do everything that entry level or many things that entry level employees did. Like, I mean, I have a person from my own team who created an agent that did her job. And a data scientist literally created an agent who now does her entire job. Luckily, we had other work for her, but I have a company that I run myself, and so that's what I'm referring to, not as a professor. So I do think this is a gigantic structural problem that we're going to face into. And it's true that when you're in these entry level jobs, you do learn some soft skills. You learn collaboration, you learn communication, and so. But it's also the working remotely. I ask my students every semester who wants to work in the office 5 days a week. I get 2 people. And then when I get down to 4 days a week, that's like 5 people. And then finally, when I'm sort of like, who wants to be remote? It's almost, it's 80% of the people. And if you're not, talking to people and going out to lunch, and somebody comes into the office and they don't look the same, they've got kind of a cast of their face. You don't see that. And you don't go into their office and say, hey, is everything okay? I noticed you're not yourself. Yeah, hey, I just found out that my dog's sick. And you just don't develop all of the skills that you need to advance. And it's yet that's a very hard case to make to Gen Z. Like when I say to Gen Z, you've got to be there, you've got to be in the office, they just say, not anymore. There's really no reason for it. You dinosaur, and that's their view.
For companies that...
Well, there you go. I support it. I support it. You can be upset all you want to. I support it. Do you, okay? Keep thinking that what you want and what you think and how you think it should work when you have no leverage, but trying to tell somebody else what to do for you, Keep doing it. I love it. I love it.
Are successfully hiring and retaining Gen Z employees? What are they doing differently?
They're hiring the 2%. That's what they're doing. Those companies, that's JP Morgan, that's Goldman Sachs, that's Bain. I mean, I think they're looking for the 2% and they're hiring them because then they don't have the values disconnect. Okay. They just don't.
Oh, so you all are getting weeded out on top of it, because these companies, I mean, I didn't know this needed to be said, are pretty intelligent, you know? So they're like, oh, well, we're going to go ahead and look for the ones that we know will work, and the rest of them can stay home flipping burgers, chat, or getting into a chat and whining and complaining on YouTube.
And so they are right off to the races. I think that's what's happening. So you see the companies that are doing it, it's all in the hiring. They know exactly what they're looking for. That test that I mentioned, the values bridge, I can't tell you how many of these good companies aren't using it as part of the hiring process. They are looking and ascertaining. I can't decide how people use the test. Anybody can take it. But I mean, more and more we are seeing, these large banks and these large companies using it during the interview process. So they're hiring very carefully for values.
Susie, for Gen Zers who are listening to this conversation right now, what's your biggest piece of advice to be successful in today's job market?
Well, do you mean to get hired or to be successful? I mean,
successful.
Well, I mean, the thing is that Gen Z has a different definition of success than we do. So they don't have a high value on achievement or work centrism. So their definition of success is closer to work-life balance, and a life.
Imagine being your success is measured by your work-life balance, and you don't want to work, or you want to work the way that you want to. Like, you bring something to the table. This is actually pretty sad. It's actually pretty sad. People that think they have leverage have none, and then they want to complain about what everyone else has done. Yeah. We worked.
Where they have a lot of flexibility. And so I think it's just choosing the company and the career that allows you to have that. There's going to be a trade-off in wealth accumulation. But many of them are willing to make it. And so I think understanding your own definition of success, which is not your parents' definition of success, and in some cases not the society or culture's sort of traditional definition of success, is going to be important. And to understand there's trade-offs. I think right now Gen Z is very young. And when we were young, we didn't understand trade-offs either. Very commonly when students take the values bridge.
I understood trade-offs and I understood what I needed to do. But then again, there was my mother that taught me all that. So again, maybe y'all should go talk to your moms and your schools. But because of where your values are, I can see that y'all think that things like having ABCDs in school are what you value. And you see where that gets you in real life? Nowhere.
Test, they find out that their number one value is self-care, and their number two value is affluence, wealth. And they say to me, Professor Welch, is this a problem? And I say, it's going to be, but you'll.
How the hell you got a value of being, of course you have a value of wealth. That's why y'all pocket watching everybody, but you don't want to work. Like, it's just supposed to be given to you. Didn't y'all go to college? Generation Z, for y'all that went to college, like, does that really make sense? You want wealth, but you don't want to work. So how you going to get it? How you going to get it? Where you going to get it from? Sure. What do I know?
Have to work that out and figure that out on your own, and they'll have to make some decisions about how they want to live, just like we do.
Susie, thank you so much for joining me.
All right, Susie, thank you for the information, Chan. I can't. This is crazy. This is crazy. We're going to go back here to Amir. Amir, why millennials and Gen Z are feeling burnt out from work? What work? They ain't doing shit. Allegedly. All right, we had just started this the other day, so we probably won't finish it. It's 35 minutes long. Let's hear what they got to say from their own mouths. And unfortunately, it sounds like Amir must be Generation Z, because it sounds like he's making these excuses. While I'm pretty sure he had to work in order to accumulate 813,000 subscribers. I'm pretty sure he just didn't come out here on YouTube and say, hey, can you just subscribe to me? Pretty sure he had to put some work in for that. I could be wrong.
How much effort and work you're having to put in to exist. That part is the frustrating part, how expensive things are, how everything's inflated, and the wars, like the world is just a lot right now for a lot of different people out there, and that's just adding more stress to their lives that they're already dealing with work. So in tandem, life and work, this shit's a struggle for a lot of people out there, and you're a fool to ignore that and just act like millennials and Gen Z in large part are just whining and complaining. No, these are real feelings out there, and just because there's a lot of boomer
real feelings, you hear? There's a lot of real feelings out there. That's the problem right there. Nobody cares about your feelings. That's just not how it works.
And like Gen X who were able to buy their house for a bag of grapes, and are they able to sell it for millions of dollars? Let's be real now. Like the medium house home is like getting near $500,000, and I remember growing up, my version of a $500,000 house is now like $1.5 million now today. But the salaries haven't gone up that much from back in the day.
I'm sick of these people using this as a reason why. So what he just said basically is that somebody, whether it's Z or boomers, bought a house and now it's worth $1 million. Now, when my grandfather died, he left 3 houses, and once my grandmother died, if their children had kept those houses, they would definitely be worth millions and millions of dollars. But it didn't start out that way. And their wages were based on that time. And not only that, they were Black, dealing with Jim Crow and racism and all those other things. So Generation Z, you can miss me with all this whining and complaining about how much a house cost, okay? You are the quickest, not the quickest, the steadiest way to wealth is to invest in a home. The problem with y'all is that you don't want to get married. You all want to do everything on your own. You are individuals doing individualist things. Did you hear what I said? My grandfather left my grandmother. They were married and they got a lot more kids, a lot more responsibility, and y'all out here whining when you have more time than ever to do something with your life. So you don't want to hear those types of things. So while racism and Jim Crow and the limited ability on what Black people could do, my grandparents got 3 houses. So if they had kept them, if my aunts and uncles had kept them, we would all be millionaires, because the place in the area is enthralled with people that go boating and people who have money. So that grew over time. So if I was born in 1971, and now it's been this way booming for 10 years, that's taken some time. That has taken some time in order to happen. You all just see the finished product. You don't see where things started and how they got here. So you're telling me today that these Generation Zers who have gone to college, who have a smartphone in their hand, who have the more opportunities than a little bit, whether it is the internet, whether it is gig work and whatever the hell it is that these people be doing, you're telling me that this is harder than a Black couple in 1950 and 40, maybe even 30, getting through what they had to get through with 8, 9, 10 kids. So you telling me that what y'all have to deal with today is harder than that? Please miss me with all that bullshit. Please miss me with all that bullshit. If you think that's the case, you can go straight to hell. Because there's plenty of us who've had grandparents that probably got something because they worked for it, mind you. And while it didn't cost as much as you want to compare to today, they also didn't get as much money. Remember, we just listened to RBN talk about his dad, Otis, when he went to go apply for that job. And they said, no, Black man, you can't work here. You can push a broom. Imagine if he said, who do you think you are, white man? I don't know who you think. No, he said, I got to do what I have to do for my family. So he's took that job and made his way up to be a master mechanic, if you all remember. But he did what he had to do in order to get to where it is that he needs to be. And that has nothing to do with Z, boomer, or anything. That has to do with a work ethic and the responsibility and knowing that you had responsibilities, meaning your wife, your family, your children, a home, and he wanted to get somewhere and do something and retired a millionaire. Now, it didn't take 2 weeks. It didn't take 2 years. It didn't take 30 days. It took over time for him to do so. And what I already know, and I don't even have to ask, is that Otis didn't go out here door dashing every meal, and didn't go out here pocket watching other people, didn't go out here taking extravagant vacations at the age of 20. I know Otis didn't do all that. And I know Otis's wife and his girlfriend didn't require all that foolishness. But you all, Z's, don't want to work with anyone. You don't want to listen to anyone. And you think that your feelings matter more than anything else. And then you want to say that it's because of inflation. No, it's because of lazy-ation. It's lazy-ation. Because you're never going to convince me that your life is this hard when I know damn well enough of the people in this chat had grandparents that went through racism and Jim Crow and redlining and segregation and all white supremacy, all those things, and still were able to make it and pass something along to their daggone children. Y'all can't even get something for your damn selves. No, I have no sympathy. And I'm not trying to hear this mess right here. When we went, me and my husband, because again, y'all don't want to get together. Y'all want to do it all by yourself. That's another issue. But when me and my husband and our first kid that we already had went to buy a house, they gave us this crazy ass amount that we qualified for. Guess what? Doesn't mean you have to take it. You have to figure out what it goes with, what it is that you're able to afford. You all don't do that. You can say you do, but I know that you don't. Even when it comes to a credit card, even when it comes to Klarna and Affirm and all that type of stuff, you don't want to wait. You want it now. That's your biggest problem, is that you want it now. And no one gets everything that they want now. You need to wait, hold off, save, work, all those things. You don't want to hear that. That is more the problem than him sitting up here talking about inflation. No. If you're not going to go and work and do what the employer wants, how are you ever going to get the salary that you need in order to be able to afford any home? There are plenty of houses and homes that are not $500,000. There are a lot of homes that are very expensive, and I just be looking like, who the hell is buying this shit? Let me tell you one of these other reasons why, and then I'll go ahead and move on. One of the reasons why in a particular area that I live in, that the homes are so much more expensive, is because there are people who work in different metropolitan areas, and then they take their high ass money from those metropolitan areas, and then they come and live in a more, not as an expensive area compared to the money that they make. This is a problem that they have in Mexico, and the Mexicans allegedly are upset because Americans are coming there with their money and they're making it more expensive where they live at, where they don't make as much money. But because those people because those people are coming from outside of their country, they have more money based off of the United States. So for example, if somebody lives in New York, they're making a lot of money because New York is expensive. So if their entry level is just say 125,000, just an entry level job, and then they come and bring it to Pennsylvania, for example, in an area that's, simple area, nothing extravagant, suburban, you can raise a family. And then they get a house that's 250,000, and then the wife has money. Well, they doing the damn thing. So they're going to keep going back to New York and bring that New York money back to a small town in Pennsylvania. And then those prices start to go up and go up, which is good for those people that live there. Their houses are worth more. See, y'all got to study more than just looking at people's income. That makes a difference as well. So you're either going to get into the game or you're going to complain. It's as simple as that. True Hype, I appreciate you. He said, I don't know if he and some others say the world is more expensive when most of the non-developed world lives in abject poverty, but somehow survives. Somebody just said it, King, they want to live this lavish lifestyle on Easy Street because they're watching influencers, which is the other issue. Watching influencers, and they think that stuff is real, when most of the time they be lying. Most of the time they be lying. And even if they are, that is an anomaly most of the time. Everybody don't get on OF and become millionaires. Everybody does not. But they mentally think that that's a way. So they want to do that. You go do it. And then they find out that that's not true. That's where your common sense comes into play, child. Look it up. I know they don't know, child. I know they don't know. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. New York City to Reading, Pennsylvania. There you go. Or imagine if you worked in DC. If you work in DC and then you go to not the closer part to DC of Virginia, but the more suburban part of Virginia, you could be rich as I don't know what. Those things make a difference, but you can't tell these people anything. It's inflation. It's with the economy you left us. Child, we live in the same economy. You're either going to make a choice and do some research and make the right choice for you, or you're just going to sit here and complain.
So it is disheartening when you have somebody out here working day in and day out, busting their ass and not able to see the fruits of their labor.
Well, I need to know what busting their ass means. Because if you working in NYC, and then you got to go all the way back to Reading, Pennsylvania, like Mike Love says, then that's working your ass off. Just because you go to work for 8 hours, how many times we heard them say 40 hours? Y'all are young. I should be saying that. And I do, child. And I do not work 40 hours. Don't tell them. But I work when I need to. Trust me when I tell you. You young, you should be working every bit of overtime. I know a man right now that's 40 some odd years old working 60 to 70 hours per week. And he ain't 20 and he ain't 30. Y'all can't even do 40.
That's what makes things very disheartening for a lot of people out there.
Does anybody else experience the Sunday scaries so intensely because you would just hate your job and you hate going to work that it can...
The Sunday scaries is unreal. Sunday scaries basically where the weekend's coming to an end, is nailing down a
Sunday scaries, child. What the?
like Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and you know you have so much to do at work. You know, Monday's about to start. You're about to hear all these meetings, have all these deadlines, have to do all this work, where you get scared. Like you literally get scared of going into work, you get scared of Monday because how much anxiety and stress it does induce in you.
Really paralyzes you. Like I'm sitting here and I have so much to do today and I just cannot get myself to do any of it because the thought of the weekend being over, I feel like as soon as I start doing my tasks, like the day's going to fly by and the day's just going to be over. And then it's going to be Sunday night and I'm going to be going to bed and I'm going to be facing Monday morning again, a whole another 5 days of something that I absolutely do not want to do. Like, is this normal?
Yes. Like I remember times where you do want to sit in silence. You do just want to sit and do nothing, or just like watch a movie or watch TV and try to slow down time as much as possible. Because even though you have so much to do and you want to be productive, as soon as you start to get productive, boom, the day is gone. And then you're sitting there stressed, worried about.
These people think they're the only ones where your day goes by fast, your weekend goes by fast. All I hear is a bunch of whining and complaining. All I hear is a bunch of whining and complaining. Exactly. Just then don't go. Then don't go. 52 working 62. I'm sorry, 52 working 62 hours a week. These people are in their 20s and can barely do 40. Like, what are we talking about right now? And someone's supposed to feel sorry for them? Chris works 65 hours a week. These are men. These are men. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. I'm telling, how long have I been saying that? These people just want to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And then they want everyone else to take care of their needs. That's crazy. Ghostbeard said, listen, after divorce, total broke from alimony, etc. What did I have? 16 hours, 2 full-time jobs for 3 years. I get it. I understand. And that has nothing to do with Generation X and baby boomers and this, that, and the third. It has to do with you don't work, you don't eat. Whether you make up your own job, open your own business, or you work for some place you like, you don't like. There's plenty of places I have worked that I don't like. There's plenty of places that I have worked that I did not like. So what am I supposed to do? Not work and have my family out on the street because half of the freaking income is not here because how I feel? Because I don't want to go to work on Sunday. Then child, call out sick. Get your ass there on Tuesday.
Work. And it's like, especially like someone with ADHD like me, oh my gosh, there's so much on your plate, so many things looking around, and there's so much that you have to get done. They want to start attacking down, but then like even the thought process of getting something done is hard to break through because of how fast the day will go, and then it starts the whole next week, and then you got.
Oh my God, the task of thinking of getting something done is so hard. How can I go through this? And then, child, I'm about to unsubscribe to him because now I'm just thinking he's a freaking idiot too. Smitty says, my grandfather was illiterate and built a machine shop. He drew pictures of jobs so grandma could bill customers. I love that. Then he built $1 million business, still didn't live lavishly. So you're saying that a man and a woman came together and they worked together, not only for family, but for business and money too? Shout out to grandma and grandpa. They get all the respect. These people don't look and hear near none of that. They not trying to hear near none of that. Just, it's Generation X's fault. Oh, is it? It's the baby boomers' fault. Oh, is it? Okay. Keep on, see how well that works out for you. Lamont, thank you for the gold coin. I appreciate you. Y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
School, you got work. It's a lot. Now, is it something we all can get through? For sure. Is it something we can manage and learn how to, time management and like get new jobs and really like hone in on how to fix your life? Yes. That is possible. But on the flip side, there is a lot of people that has to manage this scary feeling for a while.
They have to manage this scary feeling, y'all. Gotta manage this scary feeling, y'all.
While they build up their dream life and they have their path set for their goals and dreams. This is still something that people are
They have their path set for their goals and their dreams, y'all.
having to deal with.
Is this normal? Or should I, obviously I want to be doing content creation full time at some point. But
oh, there you go. There you go. I want to do content creation full time. If you wanted to do it full time, then do it. What's stopping you? Look, y'all, you see me on here right now. I just got up at 4. I went to the freaking gym. I'm here on this internet. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go back to the gym, and I'll be back here on this internet later on tonight. What the fuck are they talking about? I'm 55 years old. These are the people that know the internet better than me, allegedly. So what's their damn excuse? So instead of sitting here and freaking complaining, which may be, I guess, the content that she's talking about, why are you not investing your time into what it is that you want to do full time? What are we talking about right now? Whining and complaining, but they're so put upon. Oh, poor thing. No empathy, no sympathy.
That's going to take a long time. And I feel like I'm just like roughing through it at this point, but it's is this normal? Do other
I feel like I'm roughing through it, and he's like, I got to. Good effing bye.
people feel this way? Because the executive dysfunction is just unbearable. I have like 20 days of PTO this year. And I'm like, I feel like I should save 5 of them for a vacation, but like, I don't even know.
Yes, I don't know that I want to keep working, but I know I want to go on vacation. Guess who else want to go on vacation? I give you 3 guesses and the first 3 don't count. Guess what? For this economy right now and some responsibilities that I need to take care of, I'm going to pull back on those vacations. Do you think these people think that way? I only got 20 days. Well, I have about 6 weeks and I'm going to use every single last one of those days. But guess what? I didn't start that way. I worked up to that. These people, woo, Lord help your people.
Oh, if I can, because I need to be taking like a random Monday and Friday off here and there just to like get by.
Yes, at the Sunday Scaries.
The Sunday Scaries, I got to take off a random Monday and Friday. Well, then I guess you ain't going on vacation now, are you? Then I guess you're not going over. That better be your vacation, child. All I hear is a bunch of babies whining and crying and complaining. Just stay home, child. Just stay home.
Are very normal. It is very much a thing, but it's more so, I feel like, for people that are just unfulfilled with what they're doing in their career, and or the people around them in their career is making everything harder. So I find that most people that
all people around them in their career are making things harder. Have any of you have you all who actually worked around all these people that you love so much, that love you so much, and it was just peace and harmony the whole damn time?
actually enjoy what they do, they love what they do, they don't get the Sunday Scaries unless there's another force acting upon them. And when that acting force comes on, then things really change. And or you are just generally doing something that you really hate doing and you do not like to do. And there's different versions of the Sunday Scaries, because the Sunday Scaries is based off the average 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, but other people do have that feeling.
The Sunday Scaries is based off of the average 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, child. The Sunday Scaries. Is that some shit that I would expect my 5-year-old grandson to say? The Sunday Scaries, y'all. These are adults, allegedly. These are adults talking about the Sunday Scaries. Wow.
Feeling of like, even for me, honestly, I'm very thankful for this platform and my career. This is what I
Exactly. Shh. This is his career. He this is why I'm disappointed with him, because he didn't get this $813,000 just chilling the F out talking about the Sunday Scaries. Goodbye.
do. I'm not going to equate it to a Sunday Scary, but I do running your own business, being an entrepreneur. Like, if I'm not making content, I'm not making money. Like, I have to keep making content, be filming, editing, researching. And so I get you still get the anxiety, you still get the scaries, but not like this level. So that's never going to go away. But this is just a different perspective on like what they're going through. So yeah, even if you're doing your dream job, you're still going to have some stress, you're still going to have some anxieties, but it's not going to be that intense, because I do vividly remember that feeling.
Some point you realize it's not just the job, it's the environment, because you can handle work, you can handle the responsibilities, you can handle being busy, and you can handle the pressure. But what you can't deal with is the unnecessary stress, that toxic energy, the lack of support, the constant feeling of being on edge.
That's honestly probably, and I did have gone through this phase too, the most frustrating and annoying feeling ever, to know that you're good at your job, know that you're getting things done, know that you can handle the amount of work that's on your plate, knowing that like pretty much as far as like you and your responsibilities is concerned, nailed it, you're doing good, but it's the coworkers. it's the boss.
Oh, you nailed it. You doing great. You're doing the damn thing. You the best. You the best. Now it's the coworkers. Now it's the Lord help your people.
It's the micromanaging. It's the annoyances. It's the work drama. It's the culture. It's not even like your job, but like the atmosphere around you that's really making things bad. That's frustrating as hell. Oh my gosh. I can only imagine people that's going through that for the entirety of their career, where you're doing so good. Like you're actually really good at your job, but it's your company. There we go.
So you say that you're really good at your job. What does the end of year say?
Your job is fine, but it's your company that's making it a struggle.
Your job is fine, but the company where your job is making it a struggle. Oh my God.
Frustrating.
Once you realize that, everything starts to make sense. Why you're so tired, why your mood shifts, why don't you feel like yourself anymore? It's not because you can't handle work. It's because you're in a space that is constantly taking from you. And the moment that realization hits, you start looking at things differently. There's no more blaming yourself. You stop forcing yourself to push through. You stop normalizing what doesn't feel right.
You check
start
out.
asking better questions. Like, is this worth it? Is it sustainable? Is this where I want to be long term? And those questions, they change everything.
You can't unsee it. And that's the point where you really have to start looking at another job. Stay in your career. Obviously, if you're doing good at your job, you have a good resume, you're golden, but maybe you do need a different atmosphere. Now, there's always going to be.
Now you need a different atmosphere. Y'all, I cannot relate. This is crazy. Oh, we got to keep doing this. We have to keep doing this. Roasting Generation Z is on the list. It's staying on the list, child. Wow. Complaint after complaint, when they have the most opportunity to do more than than anyone before them has ever had to do. More options and opportunities, and still whining and complaining, child. Nathan the Grayson, love that name. Thank you so much, hon. He said, my high school graduation gift was a suitcase. Oh, Lord. I joined the military in 2006 and retired this March. Congratulations. Salute to all of our veterans. We love and appreciate all veterans around her. I didn't get the Sunday scaries in Iraq and Afghanistan. I had to work. Imagine that. Thank you for saying that. I just interviewed my dad this past weekend, and he definitely was in Afghanistan. Can you imagine listening? If I played this for him or any of the other elders and had them listen to this, I'm sure they would have some words. I'm sure they would have some words. Again, like you're just saying, these are people that get to sit on the freaking internet complaining about the options and opportunities that they have, while people who really had to go out here and be in the military and go fight wars and go do things so that these idiots can sit up here and run off at the mouth like this. And typically you all can retire in 20 years, which depending on when you freaking get in, 18, 17, that's 40 years old. That's about 40 some odd years old. These people complaining about the Sunday scaries. Wow. I cannot. I mean, I already knew, but this comment here definitely puts it more into perspective. So when you Generation Zers come back through and you want to run off at the mouth, go join the military. And until you do that, you can shut the entire fuck up. Wow.
Someone at work that's annoying. There's always going to be some level of work drama, corporate BS, but you can find the right spot for you, especially if you are excelling in your actual career and your job is good. It's just the environment and the culture and the people. That's a good sign to leave. Because once
it's the environment, the culture, and the people, that's a good sign to leave. Because of the environment, the culture, and the people, then none of them people is going to make a decision on what I need to do for me and mine. None of them. Because I can ignore you like the wall. I can ignore you like the wall. Child, I can't do it. Smitty, thank you, hon. The work made us understand what hills to stand on, what really matters versus boycotting, and think deeply. Hubs is a Marine. Shout out to another veteran. Thank you, boo. Again, we appreciate veterans over here. And I'm sure if I'm freaking offended by this, and not offended by this, but I just listen to this and it's just like, all y'all want to do is complain. You just want to be lazy. The laziest generation. I'm going to make sure I put that in the title. That's what I call them, the laziest generation. And listening to this series here shows and proves it completely. Because they remember the dude for the regulars that was might have been ABCD as well, working in Starbucks, broke down because he had to make the damn drinks and didn't want to stay for like 8 hours and just had a nervous breakdown and crying on TikTok. And it's like, what am I looking at right here, right now? What in the hell am I looking at right here, right now? So you know how to turn yourself into ABCD, but your ass don't know how to work an 8-hour shift for a job that you applied for and agreed to? And what are we supposed to do with this but talk about you? Laugh at you. You don't like it? Stay that mess up off of the internet and go get a job and work. Laziest generation ever. Oh, it's the inflation. It's Generation X. It's baby boomers. It's the silent generation. You didn't do anything. You didn't leave me anything. You. Never me. I mean, me as in selfish me, but never any accountability for where they lie in their mess, mind you.
You do start asking yourself these questions. Why don't they value me? I'm doing so much more than other people out there.
Why don't they value me? I'm doing so much. This sounds narcissistic, y'all. Why don't they value me? I'm doing so much more than what the others are doing. Oh my God, where did this come from? Oh, I like that, Mike Love. Generation Lazy. I love it. That's exactly who they are. That's exactly who they are.
I'm busting my butt, but they keep asking me for more. Is this even worth my time? You're going to keep asking yourself that in the back of your head, especially when it's not getting answered. Especially when you're having these one-on-ones and you're talking to your boss about your concerns and they're not being met. Or even like, this is more so in marketing.
Talking about your concerns and they're not being met. Child, name the concern. We need specifics. What are your concerns? There's no gender neutral bathroom.
Getting in finance realm, when you're involved with money and you see how much you're not even that, it doesn't even matter. When you see how much your company is spending, but you just want.
When you see how much your company is spending, pocket watching yet again.
A $5,000 raise, $10,000 raise, but you see them throwing $100,000 Christmas parties. You see them throwing extravagant events. You see the C-suite level in their Ferraris, and you see all these other people.
Yes, pocket watching. That's what that's called, son. It's called pocket watching. It's called minding the business that does not pay you. That's what it's called. Cause y'all worry about your feelings. That's why they got TVs all over the place now. That's why they got a ping pong table and some other game shit. That's why they got free water and tea and coffee for free. Cause that's what y'all want. It's never enough. So now y'all worrying about what the hell the CEOs and the COOs are doing. You're not doing their level of work. I don't know why y'all seem to think that you should be getting paid like that, or you should get a portion of their money. You're doing nothing on the level of what they're doing. That always amazed me, y'all. That always amazed me. These CEOs are making, they're running companies. They're running Fortune 500 companies. They're never off. They're always accountable. Are you? Y'all can't even get through 8 hours focusing on the wrong things yet again.
The money being spent elsewhere when you're just asking for the bare minimum. You're just asking for the first raise in about 2 years. Shit starts to look different. And it's really at that point, this whole, whether it's the job versus the company, where you really got to sit back and prioritize your time, your mental health, what you are doing.
You got to prioritize your time, your mental health,
doing your goals in your life, and really sit back and think.
And your goals in your life.
Is this worth it?
Is this worth it? I support that message, though. I support that message for sure. And they think that what they want matters more than anything else. We love it, because then you come back on this internet. Let me go ahead. It's a good idea, Combat Strong, to look at these comments, child, because this is from a month ago. He got 211,000 views on it. This one says, Sunday doesn't feel like a day off to me. Older people call us lazy for not wanting to work. We don't mind working. We just hate having nothing to show for it at the end. Sundays aren't for relax. They are for catching up on missed sleep. Can't enjoy weekends anymore because of how short they are. 2 short days off Did the amount of hours in a day change and I missed it? 2 short days off and then it's time to go back and get drained again. Life is so short and it's too short therein to settle for work that just isn't the right fit for your long term. And then there's an edit, but I don't want to read it. Working 40 plus hours in the 60s made sense. In 2026, it's effing stupid. Yo, it says working 40 plus hours in the 60s made sense. In 2026, it's effing stupid. I thought the entire point of technological advancement was making sure we as humans could work less and enjoy our passions more. Who are these people? Wow. Oh my gosh. Don't worry, boo. The AI is going to show you sooner rather than later. Next one says, I can't stand it when major employers, corporations lay off thousands of employees and then 2 months later brag about their record-breaking profits of $100 million gajillion dollars. The modern day workplace has turned into such a chew 'em up and spit 'em out hellscape. The people that have to pay you hate you. The social contract is broken. Retirement age keeps getting pushed up. It's like running a marathon and someone keeps moving the finishing line further away. It's soul destroying. Can't afford a lifestyle our parents enjoyed despite working so much. Something has to give. Oh, so let me see. We enjoyed all this time off, leisurely vacations, and we worked at the same time. So you just know what it was, right? The UK retirement age is now expected to reach 72 for people working. Why do these people clearly don't know that you can make changes in your life so that you don't have to wait until 72 or you don't have to wait until 62. And part of that would be doing some work right now. So you know what it is and what they're saying, but you're not doing anything when you have the opportunity and you know it sooner rather than some of us knew, but you still don't want to do anything about it. Gotcha. The rent price is going up is a big burden. I used to live in a studio apartment in the ghetto worth $960 a month, which was freaking nuts when it catches up. Month after month, including bills and groceries and needing clothing for work. A lot of people are making truly saddening sacrifices like giving up their pets. Y'all, truly saddening sacrifices like giving up their pets or eating scraps just to keep a roof over their head, just to still struggle. It sucks. The boss's ego is real. I started my career in Denver and had the best boss ever, super passionate, and even had 30-minute meetings every week to ask how we could do things better in the office. Aww. Then I transferred within the same company to Alabama, and after some time here, the culture was not the same at all. I wrote a 14-page proposal for how the office could boost profit and morale by utilizing hybrid work, structured meetings, certain tech, new markets, and what the leadership responsibilities. After that presentation, I was told the leaders here have 150 years of experience and you only have 2, so your opinion doesn't matter. I love that. People who have nothing telling people who have everything what to do. I can't imagine why that didn't work. Let me go back over to this video with the ladies and see what their comments said, because this is a good idea to look at the comments. So this is the one where they were explaining why Gen Z is getting fired. So the first one says, I was a hiring manager from 2007 through 2014. I noticed they marked shift around 2012, where the quality of the candidates dropped off a cliff in terms of their ability to communicate effectively via the written word. Oh no. So they can't write. Out of nowhere, I started getting tons of resumes that were so poorly written, they seemed like they were written by middle schoolers. And these were from people who graduated college. Doesn't sound like much has changed. Oh, no. First honest conversation I've heard from an academic about this. Who is the one that truly doesn't value achievement? Companies that offshore jobs to reduce labor costs, companies that lay off people to increase shareholder value, highly skilled workers too expensive to keep, or is it the generation noticing achievement is disposable? A lot of questions for that one. Next one says, I'm very uneasy about the medical field. Most people have no idea how desperate hospitals are just for full-time nurses, but also surgical techs and many other specialties. Full-time floating, traveling, etc. That last group may be the least familiar with the facility, the patients who have been there longer, the area. What do you call a person who doesn't heavily prioritize work, being the absolute best at their job, and may not have prioritized the best grades over passing and taking great care of themselves? Late, likely not near the top of their class, and not motivated to move quickly when they're on call and the phone rings at home to come in for a case on the overnight shift. The biggest problem this will create is AI don't spend money. When people, particularly younger ones in a largely service-based economy, aren't spending money because they don't have it, this will slowly lead to societal-wide breakdown affecting everything. Whatever. I feel like they've already done it anyway. Like when you go into some of these places, Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, using that damn keyboard and doing your own work reduces staff right there. You go in there, you key in your stuff. But I know that Chick-fil-A, because my daughter uses it so much, has an app. So you do the app, and then you come through the drive-thru and they basically give you your food and they're giving you points and discounts and all that. I'm telling you, these people don't even realize it while they're using this stuff. These are the things that are gonna, that help you not get jobs. Because then you can't even advance there. You get no skills, and then you trying to go into corporate America thinking that you're gonna write a dissertation and tell them what they're gonna do for you because you think it's better. It just don't work that way. This one says, Gen X manager here. What I'm finding with Gen Z is the inability to take initiative to get a job done without being directed on every single step to take. If they encounter any obstacle and completing a task, they just don't do it. They don't try to find a solution or even ask someone for assistance. Damn. So when I check back and asking how something is going, thinking it's humming along as they've not indicated any issues, I find the project stalled 3 days ago and nothing has been done since. I don't want to micromanage. I need people who can work through obstacles on their own, or at least bring it to my attention so I can help address it rather than just let it go undone. I am all about work-life balance for everyone. I'm just looking for people who actually care about the job, about getting the job done while they are working. That's a weird thing to request and ask for. Please work. Please do your job that we hired you for, that we pay you for. Next one says, my boss just let go of a Gen Z hire. They had me training for over a year. I put so much time into them that I can't get back and could have been working on my own projects. My boss said they didn't have any initiative, weren't absorbent, and didn't take deadlines seriously. I hate to agree with him, but I only attribute these qualities to the one person we hired, not all of Gen Z. Some people need hand-holding from every generation. Not like these people. I don't care. I'm saying the whole thing. Lazy asses. If it don't apply, let it fly. But if you're carrying on, then seemingly it does. Shout out to Kofi. I appreciate you. He said, I just told my daughter yesterday to get on her travel medical skills. She has the certs and she's just sitting still. If I wasn't high on meds, I would have lost it. Oh no. Tell the female Kofa to get it together and get out there and get that money, because this is the time. I don't understand why they don't get it. I don't understand why they don't get it. They are not in charge. I'm telling you, these people think that they are in charge, and they're not even in charge of their own damn lives. This one, I'm going to just read a few more, then I got to go to work. I'm a little over 60 and can't find a job, so give me a break with the whole we are hiring for values, because these companies age discriminate against everyone over the age of 55. Actually, it starts at around 40 some odd years old. That actually is a thing. I'm not calling it discrimination, but when I got laid off, I was 40 something, and they made us sign this thing saying that we wouldn't sue for like age discrimination. So I believe it's much younger than that. And yes, as you do get older, you don't have these opportunities. That is a fact. It says, especially for women. For example, I applied to a job as a product manager, requirements management position. I aced the interview. The recruiter told me this, and I aced their ethics test, which was a 1-hour test asking a lot of questions about moral values in the workplace. I then had an on-camera interview, and as soon as it was over, I got a rejection email. Why? They saw how old I was and rejected me based on that, I believe. So cut the crap and stop mistreating employees. If someone is effective, work from home, let them work from home. Yeah, I don't know that that's a thing. About just because you want to work from home don't mean you can work from home. It just don't work that way. It just don't work that way. So good luck to you. You're going to do what you're going to do. I was born right on the edge of being a Generation X and a millennial. One thing that is grossly overlooked is exactly why their values when it comes to work are so different. Self-care, for example, they watch their parents give everything to a company and career just to get burned at the end. They watch the layoffs after 20 plus years of employment and no pension. Why give that level of commitment, time not spent with family, grinding for a promotion that never came? In my mind, in my mid 40s, I've turned down higher paying jobs because they want me in the office 5 days a week. No, thank you. When I was younger, I chased money. Now just give me my time. I agree. That's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. I could definitely be making more money, but that means that I would have to do more hours. So it's a choice. I got out of managing people because I didn't want, it's like managing children and it wasn't for me. So I can do this job and get paid this amount of money and chill until I do whatever comes next. But you got to get there too. You got to figure out where to get there and where to go and what you're going to do. They won't even do that. They won't even do that. And wanting to work remotely is not specific to Gen Z. Every generation wants the same thing. That's not true. That is not true. I know people who are sitting up there talking about, oh, I'd like to come into the office. I'm looking at them like, if you don't shut the hell up. That's why I'm like, when I look at hybrid and some of these places are like, oh, you got to come into the office 4 days a week and you get to work from home 1 day. No, that's not hybrid. Just stop playing. That is not a hybrid job to me. Why would Gen Z value work or achievement when they do not see either of these things being rewarded? What? Why would Gen Z value work or achievement when they do not see either of these things being rewarded? Do they get paid? There's your reward. As a millennial, the job market is pretty shit. I don't disagree. You don't get financially rewarded for being a hard worker. You just get to work harder. Yo, these people don't know how to, what is the word? Reassess. They don't know how to reassess because I worked in a place, actually it was a government job many, many years ago. And because I did my job well and other people's didn't, they transferred the work to me. So when you work for the government, at least state level, you don't get paid a lot of money, but the benefits are great. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to keep doing this. And I have no problem with speaking up. Trust me when I tell you. I said, yeah, no, I'm not going to keep doing this because she don't know how to do her job. You make her do it. You don't have me do it just because I can do it. They wasn't trying to hear me, so I quit. Fuck them. And then moved on to whatever was next. I don't even remember, but they just thought, because some people, when it comes to like state working, they don't think that you're ever going to leave. So when I did quit, they couldn't believe that I was quitting. You're going to quit? Yes. You're not going to sit here and use me. I can see that's what you're doing. And you think I'm just going to sit here and take it? There's other people that's going to sit here and take it, and shout out to them. But if you don't go and assess and reassess and make a plan A, B, and C, which I say how many times, right? Which is something I feel like we learn. Instead of getting on the internet, whining, crying, and complaining and pocket watching people who you can't do nothing about that. If you're not going to sit up here and make any changes for yourself, then you deserve to be where you at. And all we going to do is talk about you and laugh at you. You have to work. You have to work, whether you're working for yourself, whether you're working for someone else. If you need money and you trying to do something, you have to work. That's it. But I guess it's a foreign concept now, so F them. Anyway, shout out to y'all for hanging in there. Most of the trolls, I guess, had to go, but if they do come back, y'all leave something that makes sense. We'll be glad to address it, but we will be back to troll the laziest generation ever. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Shout out to everyone that donated. Pretty sure Kofa is the stream sponsor. Thank you so much, hon. Shout out to the mods. I appreciate you. Make sure you comment, share the daggone video, hype it up. I see you all in the next one.